Today we are talking about the 10 most annoying guests that come to theme parks. From Disney to Universal to SeaWorld to Six Flags, these guests are at all of these theme parks. Now I don't want to sound too negative because the majority of guests are great. I've had great interactions with other guests and had great conversations with people. People who do the stuff I'm about to say are just annoying. Disagree in the comments, let me know, but I honestly don't think any of you will disagree with any of the ones on this list. And if I forgot any, let me know. These are the 10 most annoying guests at theme parks in no particular order. Number 10 is a super annoying one, the line cutter. Anybody who's cutting line is annoying. But what I'm thinking of here is you go to a theme park and you have one person waiting in front of you, and then all of a sudden you get closer to the front of the line and 6 people come and join them. Your family comes and joins them in line. Listen, if you have a kid, you gotta take the kid to the bathroom or you gotta run to the bathroom, that's fine. Come back and join your family in the line. But when they're clearly just holding a spot and 7 people roll up deep, and now I'm waiting for a whole different ride vehicle, or I'm waiting for a whole different show, just because you decided to go do something else and had your mom wait there for me. That's annoying. That's an annoying thing. Am I wrong by that? I don't see it much at like the Disney Universal parts, but at like Six Flags and stuff, you got people that are just one person just trying to cut the line, or 2 people that are trying to cut all the way through, be like, oh, I'm up there, and then they get to the next spot and they just stop. Disney and Universal is where I really see the family line cutters. At some of the other parks, I see like the couple or solo line cutters. Either way, it's annoying. Next one on my list is the people who stop in the middle of a walkway or path. I don't know how this happens so much, but when you're at Disney and Universal, I've seen this so many times where you're just the middle of a big walkway, rather than step to the side, people just walking down the middle of the path, and there's just a group of people in the middle just talking. And it's always a group. It's always like 3 or 4 people. Or you have somebody who's walking, and then they stop and start looking around as you have 60 people behind you just walking. I can't be the only one that's experienced this. Middle of a walkway, people just stop. Rather than step to the side and have a conversation, they just stop in the middle of the walkway. Universal Studios people on the moving path, they're just taking up the whole moving walkway together and not even budging. They just refuse to budge. And it's like, left side, we walk. Right side, you stand. Left side, you walk. Right side, you stand. It's very simple. Take up the whole thing and they're talking. They have no idea what's going on behind them. Just stopped in the middle of everything. I can't be the only one that's experienced this. Number 8 on my list is the personal space invader. You know what I'm talking about. You're standing in line for a ride, and all of a sudden, they're just on your back. They're just like right there, and you can feel the breath. You can smell it. They're sweaty. It's gross. And they're just, is this not way for you? Like, what are you doing? Away from me. You don't need to be that close. It's not getting you to the ride any sooner. But you see this in line for rides. You see this in line for food. You see this in line for merchandise. Personal space. They're like, oh, my space now. And just come right up on you. I wish there was still somewhat of social. It's funny because in 2020 and 2021, obviously because of COVID, everybody had the social distancing and it was nice. And it's like everybody forgot that was a thing. And now I get we don't have to be that far apart, but we could be a foot. We could be a foot, man. It's annoying. The only time I kind of understand this is like shows like Happily Ever After or parades. I get that like it's tight and you get excited and people come. It's still annoying, but it's not as annoying because I understand that you're trying to get a good view and it's something that's going by and you get excited. But being in line for like Space Mountain and we're just sweating in this ramp that has space noises and you're all up on me, I don't need it. It's annoying. On my list is the narrator. You know who I'm talking about. Universal Disney, they have a bunch of pre-shows in their thing, and we get it. We've all been there. A lot of us have. If you're watching this video, you've probably already been to a theme park. So you probably know the pre-show. You know a couple lines from that. And there's always somebody that chooses to narrate the entire thing because they know it. I didn't come here for your voice. I came here for the ghost host in Haunted Mansion. I didn't come here for you. Why are you reciting this whole thing to the crowd like it's your show? It's not about you. We're not here to be about you. We're here for the Haunted Mansion. We're here for these other pre-shows. There's always somebody who does. Now, I get it. Some of them can be catchy. You want to mouth it to yourself? Go ahead. You want to say very quietly, I am your host, your ghost host. Go all about it. Go about it. I'm fine with that. But you know as well as I do, there's always somebody who's, I am your host, ghost host. It's not funny. I don't think it's funny at all. Keep it to yourself. On to the next one. The PDA couple. Okay, you're at Disney, you're at Universal, you're at a theme park, you're having a good time with your significant other. Yes, hold hands, hug, little peck. Fine, that's fine. But a lot of these theme parks were around kids, man. There's always some weirdos who are just all up on each other. Just standing in line for like Monsters Inc. laugh floor. And they are just all up on each other. Yeah, I know. You're saying this like, oh, really? Yes. I can't be the only one that's seen this. And somehow, I'm always one. I turn my head, and I'm always guys that are just like, I don't know. This happens. Cut it out, man. Okay? Relax. We're at a theme park. We're riding rides. You don't need to be doing all this. So yes, you're like, I'm not saying don't hold hands, don't hug each other down. But there's a limit, man. You're in public. I can't be the only one that's seen some of these, right? Like, please tell me in the comments that I'm not going crazy here. I made this list and I was like, yeah. And now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, is that just me? No, that can't be just me. On my list, and again, no particular order. The people that sit in the middle of a row at a show and refuse to get up. In this, you got like Muppet Vision, PhilharMagic, stuff like that, right? Sometimes the park is not busy. And you can sit in the middle of a row. Typically, the cast members or team members, whatever park we're at, will tell you that just take whatever seat you like. But other times, the park is very busy, and they're going to fill up that whole theater. And you always have those people that just go right to the middle of the road, and they do the whole look back, and they sit right down in the middle. And the cast member will be like, hey, you need to move. You need to move down. Keep on moving down. And they just refuse. So now everybody has to step over them to get down to the end of the row. This is why when you go into theaters, it's great not to be first. You don't want to be first if you want to be in the middle of the row. I personally like the end of the row because I still see the show, and then I'm the first one out of there. Can you tell I've been drinking Red Bull? Yeah, these people are annoying, man. Just listen to the people, listen to the cast members, move all the way down, or wait a little bit, and then you can sit in the middle. And if it's not busy, it's fine. Cast members will tell you, take whatever seat you like. Cool. But on busy days, man, don't be a jerk. Just move on down. Stop being annoying. Next one on this list is flash photography people. Now, this can be in very different areas, okay? First of all, on a ride. You get on a dark ride like Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, rides that are meant to be in the dark. You look over next to you like, what is that light? And are you a lighthouse? What are we doing? The dark rides are dark for a reason. You don't want to see that stuff. So when I'm lighting up Haunted Mansion and I see all the contraptions how they're working, that's dumb. What are you doing? And now you're distracting everybody else. Do you go back? I've recorded on rides before, obviously for YouTube purposes. But even before that, I've never gone back and watched a ride video I've watched once. There's plenty of better ones on YouTube. Why are you recording? And then with the flash on too. I don't get it. Also, you have people at Fantasmic, the whole show, recording like this behind me. And I'm like, what are we doing? I don't get it. Happily Ever After. Like, people just record it with their flash on the entire time. Speaking of Happily Ever After, people who record the entire show on like their iPad and hold it up like this. This is an honorable mention. What are you doing? Holding it up, it's like I got a big TV in front of me, now I can't see the show. Stop doing this. Keep the flash off. Keep the phone down. You want to record it right here with no flash. You're going to have better videos on YouTube anyway. The next one up is bad parenting. I can't imagine what it's like to take kids to Disney World, Universal, Six Flags, or SeaWorld. I'm sure it's a pain, especially if you have different ones. I'm not saying you're bad parents. I think it's great you're doing things with your kids, taking them to theme parks. I'm saying the ones that let their kids run amok, smack things, run around with things, run in between people. I was at Ohana the other day, and they must have split tables. And the entire time, you had kids running in between tables, to and from each one, banging into chairs, and their parents are just laughing about it. You're a bad parent, man. You're a bad parent. You're at Ohana, a very expensive restaurant, and your kids are running amok, hitting people, running into things, running around waiters. Like, there was just waiters trying to bring food, and they're just running around there doing nothing. That's bad parenting. I understand. Kids are a little excited. I get it. They're at Disney World, they're at Universal, they're at Six Flags. They're having the time of their life. That's great. But come on, man. Make sure, be a better parent. Supervise your kids. Don't let them jump over railings, hurt themselves, go in areas they shouldn't. Watch your kids. Just supervise your children. They say it on every ride. But we all know, we've all seen it. The parent that just checks out, doesn't care. Kids running amok. Come on. The next one on my list is kind of a two-parter. People who just ram into you with strollers. Parents that are just ramming into your strollers. I get that strollers are a necessity, especially at Disney World and Universal. I understand this completely. And I can understand that in busy crowds, it's tough to operate a stroller. But there are parents who just willy-nilly will ram into you, no problem, won't say a word, won't apologize. They're hitting you regardless. On top of that, reverse side, there are annoying people who jump in front of a stroller, who jump in front of a wheelchair. They're just trying to cut them off and they cut like that. And then they get hit and they get mad at them. And it's not their fault. They're trying to operate through a crowd and you're jumping in front of them. So that's a two-parter. You're annoying if you ram into somebody with a stroller, carefree, you're not paying attention, boom. And reverse, you deserve to get hit if you're just jumping in front of strollers and wheelchairs because you're trying to rush to your next ride. Does that make sense? Is that fair? I think that's fair. Both sides. Both sides. Those people are annoying. And number absolute one, I said no particular order, but this is number one, is people who are rude and scream at cast members, team members, and the people that work at this park. Understand, you spend a lot of money. There's some things that can be frustrating. But at the end of the day, the cast member you're yelling at, it's not their fault. They don't control the prices. They don't control downtime. They don't control what's going on in that park, what any of these things are. They're there to assist. And you always have somebody who is just going off on a cast member or team member for no reason, for something that's out of their control. Don't be rude to them. We understand. As somebody who was a cast member, some things are frustrating. We don't want those things to go down. We don't want the ride to go down. We don't want this to cost that much, but we don't set the prices. We don't control the downtime. We have to manage it when it happens. So to the person who is screaming and yelling at them, you are the worst guest in the theme park that day. You are the most annoying because not only are you upsetting that cast member's day, you're upsetting the family around you, and I guarantee you, your family is looking at you embarrassed because you're causing a scene. Those are the most annoying guests by far. They are easily number one. Be nice to cast members. Be respectful to cast members. It's not that hard. So that's the end of my list. You tell me, did I get them right? Did I get them wrong? Did I miss any? And tell me if these are just my experiences. There's no way these are just my experiences. I think these are the 10 most annoying guests at these theme parks. That's another video from JVTV, and I will see you on Thursday.